I work at a butcher shop.
Do you really?
Butcher shop.
Yes,
That's an
sir.
interesting
That's
job.
dope, man. How's that been like?
Uh, it's kind of grunt work, but it's an honest living, I guess you could say. I mean, it keeps me busy.
Right.
And has the shop been like closed due to COVID, or you guys opening up now
Uh, no, actually, meat sales are going up because of COVID.
because of it? Why is that?
I guess that makes sense.
I actually don't know. Um, yeah, I have no clue. They just skyrocketed all of a sudden. So we're in more business than we've ever been in.
Wow, good for you guys though, right?
Is
Oh
it?
yeah.
Do you think it's because people are trying to support smaller businesses? Or is it like a commercial chain of butcher shops or what?
No, this is family owned.
Okay.
Kind of local.
I think it's butcher shops everywhere across the country.
Really?
Just the meat market in general. I
Wow.
think people are freaking out that there's not going to be any meat left, and so they're just pushing cattle and hogs and sheep and goats and just everything into butcher shops and getting that meat off of them.
Do you think people are stocking up then?
I actually do.
Nice. Well, good for your guys' business then. And have you guys been open for a while now, or were you ever closed because of COVID? How are the laws doing in
Uh,
Oklahoma?
no, we've never been closed because of COVID.
Oh, dope. You guys are just open all the time.
Every day of the week except for Saturday and Sundays.
That's nice. So the whole pandemic didn't really affect you guys then.
No, sir.
Nice.
A
All right,
lot
man.
better than other situations I've heard of, man. It's good to hear that, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
I think I am. Yeah.
Dope. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the first episode of the Time to Talk podcast. I'm your co-host AB,
And this is KP.
and today we'll be talking about the recent Trump rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
After seeing some misleading headlines over and over again, we wanted to get information straight from the source, someone who witnessed the rally in person.
And we have Shayne on call with us, an Oklahoma resident who was at the rally and he saw everything go down in person. And we really appreciate you taking the time to be here with us today, man.
Yeah, no problem. Glad I could help.
It's good to hear that. So the rally started at 7 p.m. Central, right? How early did you get there, and how long were you waiting in line for?
I think I got there around maybe 6 o'clock or 6:30. I wouldn't even say there was a line. There were so many people there couldn't have been a line. There was, I think, 3 checkpoints set around. I'm not for sure. I know I went to two of them, and we went to the first gate. They wouldn't let us in, and so we had to go around the block to another gate. Well, they wouldn't let us in there.
Damn. And how long would you say those lines were, man? Or
Ooh,
you, you
man,
you said there weren't even lines; they were just people all over, right?
yeah, like I think in one spot there had to have been 1,000 people in one spot.
Oh wow.
I mean, there was a lot of people.
And how many of those people would you guess were from out of town?
Um, I couldn't tell you really. I know I saw a bunch of different license plates, like out of state. I
Wow.
know people came over from everywhere.
Yeah, because that's what I was kind of thinking. Because Tulsa, I mean, I don't think there's a lot of people. I guess that many people in Tulsa, right? Like there have to be people coming from all over.
Yeah, yeah. Especially from Oklahoma City. That's our state
Right,
capital.
Hmm.
So
right.
especially from Oklahoma City, other big cities like Norman, Stillwater, just everywhere. I guess you could
Nice,
say.
Hmm.
nice.
Surrounding areas. Were there protests against the rally around the area where the rally was being held? What kinds of things were they saying?
There actually was. So when the cops and Secret Service told us that when they came up to the gates and they talked to me and my grandpa and basically everybody. They told us that we weren't allowed in and that there wasn't enough medical screeners to check everybody. So they had to go all home, or they all had to go home. Well, we were about to walk back to our car, and people were playing the rally on their phone, but streaming it through a megaphone so we could listen to it. And there had been 304 people just in that one spot listening to it. And
Damn.
yeah, I know it was crazy. And we were listening to it. We were chanting USA, USA, 4 more years, 4 more years. And then all of a sudden, a whole bunch of Black Lives Matter protests started coming down the street at us.
Wow.
Well, my dad told me to go kind of like hang out somewhere else in a corner just to kind of, keep eyes out.
Right.
Well, I was trying to keep a watch on things, I guess you could say. And someone came up behind my dad. Well, I went over to my dad to make sure he was okay and everything. And they were they were just calling us racist because we're Trump supporters. We need to go back home
Hmm.
and just a whole bunch of stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Damn.
Did things get violent? And did the police have to step in or no?
That is true. They didn't have to step in when I was there. I left because things were gonna start getting out of hand. I mean, we knew they were gonna get out of hand one way or another. So
Right.
my dad, my grandfather, my stepmom, and myself, we left and we got out of town. And then we watched on the news that tear gas got sent out into the crowds.
Wow.
Damn. Okay.
Damn, man. Were you guys safe though?
Oh yeah, we were safe. I mean, no one was gonna do anything stupid. I think what I heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, but what I heard is someone stole someone else's sign and tore it up, and it got physical from there.
So that's just one instance.
That's all I know about.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Sure, there were more, man. And speaking of the police, there was a video going around on social media that compared the way the left has been treating the cops versus how the right has been treating the cops. Tell me what you saw at the rally. Do you think there was support and respect shown to the police there?
From the Trump supporters side, yes, there was. When they came and talked to us and told us they couldn't come in, they're like, "Hey," or we said, "Hey, thank you for letting us know, not leaving us in the dark and everything."
Hmm.
Well, thank you. Well, I saw some videos on. I don't know if you guys know this guy or not, but the typical liberal on Instagram, he posts a bunch of videos about the rallies, and he's a Trump supporter. And there was a video that I saw, and there was this black woman that came up when I was at the rally and started, screaming and yelling at us and just wasn't making any sense. She got posted on his page,
Damn.
and I thought it's pretty cool that she made it on the page so people can see how they act, really act. I
Hmm.
don't think she knew she was getting, videotaped.
So now, talk to me about the line and how many people were able to get in. You said that the line cut off before you were able to go in, right?
Yes, that's correct. So we went to one checkpoint. They told us we couldn't go in. We went to the second checkpoint. They told us we couldn't go in. And we wanted to know why. At first, they wouldn't talk to us. They just left us in the dark. Well, then the Secret Service came up and talked to us. It was just one guy. But he came up and talked to us like, hey, there's not enough medical screeners. Um, and what I personally think happened is that some protesters, they booked all the tickets online, and that's why they wouldn't let us in. They can say that there wasn't medical screeners, but I personally don't believe that.
And from what I've heard from the media, they are saying that the reason why a lot of the arena was empty was because there wasn't as much support for Trump as everyone had anticipated. Would you agree with that, or?
Yeah, personally, I do not agree with that. Like I said, there had to been thousands of people out in the streets trying to get in, and they just wouldn't let them in, including myself and my family. It just wasn't right.
Now, I know KP has been to a Trump rally in Houston, but I've always wanted to go to one of his rallies. I've heard so many stories about people who didn't like him or were kind of on the fence about him going to his rally, and they just walk out a Trump supporter and end up loving the dude. Uh, so what did you think about the rally, Shane? How was the atmosphere there? Were the people liking it?
Oh, totally. Everybody was loving Trump on that stage. Uh, we like I said, we were sitting there talking and sitting with 300-400 people, streaming the the rally on a megaphone, and we were all listening to it. I loved how as Americans we got together and we didn't care what color you were, we didn't care you know language you spoke or what religious beliefs you have. We got together and we enjoyed something,
Right.
and I really like that.
And I'm sure
Mm.
that was like a environment that you felt you were welcome in, because nowadays, dude,
Totally.
you can't go around wearing a red hat that says "Make America Great Again."
And that's sad. It really is.
Yeah.
You know, there's a certain entertainment factor to his rallies, right? He's open, he tells it the way he feels, and jokes around too. Did you see the media take anything out of context or twist his words?
Uh, I actually I actually didn't. I don't really watch a lot of news. I mean, I do a lot. I watch a lot of Fox News, right?
Mhm.
But I didn't see anything get taken out of proportion.
By Fox News, you're saying?
Yeah, by Fox News. But I'm gonna be honest. Fox News plays both sides of the game too.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah,
every
yeah.
news corporation. It's not
Just
just
media
CNN and
in general.
ABC.
Right. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, they're just going for the headlines that give them the most views. The profit-driven business.
Oh yeah.
And on
It's
a more
hard to find out
personal,
what you believe.
sorry, go ahead, man.
Oh, I was just saying it's hard to find out what's real and what's not.
Yeah, that's very true. And that's why you got to experience it in person to really find out.
Absolutely,
Right.
that's kind of why we have you on here, man, to tell us more about it.
Oh, well,
And
thank you.
of course, and on a more personal note, man, have you received any hate online on social media over either liking Trump or being at his rally?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there was a um, there was a page on Instagram that posted that Trump didn't have a great turnout. Not a lot of supporters came to support him, and I said something about it, and I got around 200 comments. All hate.
Hmm.
Um, I had one person say that am I allowed to curse on this?
Oh yeah, go ahead, man.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So I had someone say that I fuck my sister. I just had a bunch of hate. It's insane because of one comment.
Right, and were you just telling people how many people actually showed up and stuff like that?
Yeah, I was trying to get the message out that what they were saying was not true. There
Yeah,
was thousands of people in the streets, trying to get in, but they just wouldn't let us.
yeah.
Right.
And that's a very important piece of information because I've been watching all these news channels and they all kind of talk about the fact that a bunch of seats in the upper decks were open and they the amount of people that they were expecting didn't show up, but no one talked about, like you said, the hundreds and potentially thousands of people that weren't allowed to go in for some unknown reasons.
Yeah, I to tell you the truth, I really didn't see anything about it, except on CNN and some Instagram sites or pages.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I really don't know to tell you the truth, but I know that there was a lot of. I've been to the BOK Center for everything, whether it be basketball, hockey, monster trucks. You name it. I've been there for it.
Hmm.
That place is huge. It can hold thousands of people. I think, if I'm right, it holds 20,000 people.
Wow.
There was there was plenty of room, and they just wouldn't let us in.
Yeah.
Who was stopping you from going in though?
Um, believe it or not, a big wall. There was
Really?
yeah. it was I don't even know. It was like a rollaway wall, I guess. They chained it together so you couldn't get in. Well, when I first got there, I walked around the block onto this street going down the block trying to get in. Well, there was a bunch of cops standing there with riot gear just to make sure everything was safe, everything was okay. And there was a bunch of yellow tape, caution tape, and we couldn't be allowed past that point. So once the cops got behind the wall, we were allowed to go up to the wall. Well, at that point, that's when they told us we weren't allowed in.
Wow.
Do you know who put up the wall?
I actually don't. They they had a wall built around a few blocks around the BOK Center. Well, that's where if the seats got filled inside the BOK Center, people could stand outside and watch big screens. Well,
Mhm.
not even the BOK Center got filled up. There was not one person standing outside, and they said, we couldn't go in.
Wow. Hmm. What do you think in your personal opinion was it because of like I don't know COVID related thing or was it just for like personal safety?
To be honest, if I think it was a little bit of everything. I think it was personal safety. Make sure no one got hurt if stuff got violent.
Hmm.
COVID, that's a lot of people. It can spread really fast. But the number one issue I have with it is I think that protesters requested all those tickets to make it look like there was going to be a million people showing up.
Right.
There's going to be this many people showing up, when only in reality, I think I read it somewhere 12,000 people showed up.
Right.
And yeah, they just made Trump kind of look bad in that instance.
Yeah.
If you go and look at Biden's rallies, there's like 3 or 4 people there.
Yeah.
No one's talking about that.
No one's talking about that. You're right, dude. And no one's also talking about the fact that he got over like a combined total of 13 million views online. So who even cares that there were not people showing up in person? You know, there were 13 million people watching that rally from home.
Oh yeah, I believe it. I
Fox
really
News
do.
got the highest ratings for their evening show or something like that, and yeah, there were a lot of people watching it online rather in person.
Yeah, I'm sure they're watching it from home, because of the COVID.
Hmm.
Right.
But yeah, I believe 13 million views. I believe it.
Perfect, man.
Here's another question. Were people wearing masks in the crowd?
Um, there was there were some people wearing masks. But the only people wearing masks were Black Lives Matter activists, and that was just so you couldn't see their face. I don't think they were concerned about getting sick.
Really,
Hmm. That's interesting.
that is interesting, dude. And as far as the safety related to corona goes, I heard that they were taking the temperatures of people who were attending the rally and stuff. Like they were taking the appropriate precautions, right?
Oh yeah, they had a few medical screeners, but either they got tested for well, sorry, either they got tested positive,
Hmm.
and they had to go home, or they didn't have enough, so they couldn't do all the people that were there. And if it's the second reason they didn't have enough, that just should show how many people were really there.
That's a great point,
Hmm.
dude. That's a great point. And yeah, people make it sound like he was being unsafe by even having the rally in the first place. You know, amidst this uh, quote unquote pandemic that's still going on. So it doesn't feel like it was unsafe or anything. It seems like there were proper precautions being taken, and everything was safely done. Right?
Oh yeah, and I don't know if y'all know this or not, but when you got screened, they'd give you hand sanitizer and a mask.
Oh, like
Okay,
like
So
a
so those were
personal thing
being
for
given
everyone.
out.
yeah, they had masks for everybody.
That's awesome, dude.
So they were taking the right precautions for sure.
Hmm. So
Definitely
they were
seems.
giving out masks but not letting people in. That's weird.
That's what I thought. But like I said, I think that It was a little bit of everything, including the protests. Requesting that many tickets just to make him look bad.
Yeah.
But like I said just a minute ago, that if there was not enough medical screeners to check us all out, then that should show really how many people were there to support him.
True.
Mm.
True. Good to hear, man. You got any more questions, dude?
No, I think Shane answered most of them. Not
All right,
all.
man. Is there anything you would like to add, Shane, that we didn't go over?
Um, I just want people to know how violent they really are. Black Lives Matter activists. They can say that the narrative is to get equality. They're really violent, and um, I mean that's all I can really add.
Yeah.
Mm.
You said you mentioned that you left because they were coming at you guys and stuff like that, right?
No, actually, they were coming at us, and both sides were having an argument and
Mm.
everything. Well, it started getting dark. That's why we left. It was around, I think, 8:30, right before it got dark. About 20 minutes, 15 minutes before it got dark, we left, and we went to go get food. Well, we looked at the news, and then we saw that tear gas got shot into the crowds, and pepper balls, and
Wow. Sounds like you guys left at the exact right time then.
I know that's what my dad was saying.
Wow. That's very
Just
fortunate,
before
man.
shit went down.
Yeah. All right, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, man. Take
Yeah,
care of
no
yourself out there.
problem. Yeah, you too. No problem.
Stay safe, man. And again, thanks. Thanks for
Yeah,
being
no
here with
problem.
us
You
and
too.